Hello everybody, this is Lambro with yet another map tutorial slash video about how to attack slash defend in Dorado. So today we're gonna explore per usual from the attacker side first, and then we're gonna go on some defensive option. And I believe this is the first straight payload escort map that I've done, and I could be wrong about this. But let's begin. So from an attacker's perspective, you have three possible exits. You have exit right exit, the middle exit, the left exit. So generally, as a Reinhardt and the main push group, you want to go down the center. If you're a flanker, you want to go take the left and right exit. I forgot top exit, which is where your Widowmaker on your team. Now this, it is worth noting, this is yet another great Widow slash Genji map. Widow on attack and Widow on defense is absolutely essential in winning this map. Unless your Widow sucks, then that's a different story, but we'll get to that at a later point. High elevation advantage, the high point on this map, is absolutely key to doing successfully. So Pharah, Widow, Genji, they're all really good. Don't pick Pharah if the opposing Widow is on point, because you will have a bad time. The Natural Soldier would also be a great pick here as well. So, you have your four possible exits in Dorado from the attacker's perspective. Once again, the main team goes out here. Your Widow wants to check for any snipers up here and up here. Once that point is checked, your flankers are gonna have to get to work. So, flank option A is you're gonna want to start moving through these tunnels over here. There's no health pack here. So you're gonna be health packless for a really long time as a flanker, so be careful. I like to stand here as McCree because it's a small alleyway, and as we all know, McCree absolutely destroys small, tight choke points. So have a McCree here as a defender, and it would probably prevent some early flanking unless your McCree dies. As a flanker from an attacker, you want to go through the cellar area as fast as possible, because it will lead you directly behind the enemy team over here. Now, if you do manage to get to this area, you are now open to the possibility of going up and attacking their top stationary units. Like, Hordborns like to set up there on that bridge. I'll show you in a sec. There's a large health pack here, definitely worth noting. This is the first health pack as a flanker if you take this path. So you go up these stairs. Your team is probably still pushing the payload down there. There could be Widows up here, there could be Torbjorns up here, there could be Bastions up here. And you want to take them all out so your team can move forward. This is your primary location you want to take control of as a attacking flanker in the points first section. Now, the other option to get up to that same exact area is you take the right exit, and this is generally safer unless their sniper is in a very specific location that watches this exit. And that's a possibility too. So you come out of this exit, you walk out here, there's a small health pack to your left. There is the location of the adorable little girl from the Soldier 76 video over here. That's a little Easter egg. Well, not really an Easter egg. Anyways, you walk up these stairs, hopefully has all these people shooting at you. Obviously easiest on Tracer, but if you could Reaper, you can teleport over there as well, and hopefully get minimal shots to your forehead. So you walk up here, and there's another giant health pack here. This is generally a safer... I thought there was a giant health pack here. There it is. And there's also a small health pack in this building. This is a popular Symmetra teleporter location for the first part. If you are all in defending this first choke point, which is this corner. Very dangerous thing to do. Most of the pro teams don't do it, because you could be attacked from a lot of sides. Alright, so giant health pack, little health pack, and one more giant health pack down there. And that's the first section. Snipers, take note, you want to snipe them up here. If you're a defender, you could also hang out up here, as it's relatively nicely covered by this little rail over here. And you could also set up over here. Torbjorns could set up here, Torbjorns could set up over here as well. Alright, so it's kind of easy to win on this point, because if you can hold them here for about 3 minutes, they have 2 minutes to go through the next choke point section, which is the town center in the middle. So something to keep in mind. So We go down the middle path. You know, there's not that much to talk about in this section. Win the cellar, win that back alleyway, clear this building as an attacker, and then you should be good to go the second part. As a defender, once again, you can have a sniper slash turbo over here and here. You also might want to have someone up here as well, but that's a possibility. And if you want to cover that left exit that I mentioned earlier, you could also snipe over here. And it'll cover the right side as well. But it's a little more open, but you can also step back for some cover. And this is probably my favorite sniper location on this map, because it's less expected than the two obvious locations over there and over here. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, this grate is accessible by people that could jump really high, like Genji, or you could grapple up here on top of this grate as well. Quick reminder, small health pack, large health pack, large health pack, alright? So, your attacking payload is now moving up, and the defender is now working on this choke point. So, if I was an attacker, how would I get past this choke point? Very good question, hypothetical question asking person. One of the lesser known routes that a lot of pro players take is you could walk at this back alleyway and grapple this wall. Genji could climb it, Hanzo could climb it, Widow could climb it, Pharah could climb it. Hey, look at where we are. So, that's a popular Torbjorn turret location that you want to be aware of. So, be careful as you scale this wall, as you might get shot at immediately. But if you could take control of this area, you could start working on the defending team from behind and start pushing your agenda forward. Another great way to get to this area, start clearing out this choke point that defenders would probably make a Reinhardt stand on, is you can take this left location. Hi, guitar. Alright, so how you would get past that choke point in particular is you can start working your way through here and start taking shots at the people defending the center. Alright, so now as a defender, I really don't recommend stationing people on this choke point here, as there are multiple options that I highlighted just now. But let's start talking health pack location. So we already went over the health pack location over here, the large one over there. Now, if you start moving forward up as a flanker, here are some other options. Alright, so you know there's a bunch of guys probably shooting at you over here, but a lot of people don't look on this right side, so as a flanker, you could teleport all the way to the back over here. Alright. So we have another giant health pack back here. So once again, the view from the town center is, you can start walking back here. It's like, but why would you want to walk all the way back here? What's the purpose of this? The purpose of this is you can take these stairs over here and start another possible flanking location. And here would overlook where the defenders would like to set up their choke point. Here is where the Torbjorn would probably set up the turret. You can also set up your turret over here, but this is more easily seen by the snipers all the way in the back over there, even though Widow just got nerfed. But I recommend this location a little more, just a little bit harder to see. And if you're extra cheeky as a Torbjorn, you could also set up a turret here. Alright, so that basically covers that building entrance, this main road, and it doesn't cover this section, but you can't cover every spot with just one character, you know? So more from the attacker's perspective, because it's definitely harder to attack than it is to defend, is you can also jump down here. So once again, making this a relatively poor choice in choke point. You want to like draw the line over here as a defender. This is where you want to draw the line. From an attacker, your goal is to cross that line with minimum casualty. And honestly, if you get past this section over here, it's relatively easy to attack through the center and you'll easily get to the next point. Where can you stand as a defender? Besides the obvious Torbjorn locations I mentioned earlier, you can start taking shots at people down the alleyway. I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but Hanzo is actually pretty good in this area, but Widowmaker's obviously better. Widow is better because you could go up here and start sniping from here. And this is really, really far away from the attacker, so unless they have another really good Widowmaker, probably not taking you out. Widowmaker's probably gonna be standing over here. but definitely watch out for this section where Genjis could climb over and ruin your day. Alright, so this is how you want to generally cover this last area for choke point A. Not checkpoint, choke point A for the attackers. So, relatively easy to defend the first point because of how far the payload actually has to travel to get here. Alright, so from an attacker, remember that there is the back alleyway over here through this building. There's the main entrance, and I didn't really mention this building because this is often abused already, but Symmetra's just set up here and guard this building. It's probably a good idea to have Symmetra set up here so that people can't get through if they push past this corner. Alright, so we are 12 minutes in and we only got to the first choke point. So then keep in mind, once again, health pack locations, small one here, large one back over there. There's another small one on the other end of this corner. So now you finally won this point as an attacker. You spawn from this building now. Over there. And I believe it's generally faster if you just walk out and towards the attackers. Alright, so your payload has finally got here and you're moving forward. Sniper, start positioning yourself up here and start checking this road. Start checking the top of this building. And definitely another option is to start peeking over here and start clearing the way for your team. Flankers take the same locations as it would greatly benefit your team. So where do you want to go as a flanker in this particular part of the map, in this particular middle section? Well, as a flanker, you want to probably move up here and start taking control of this building here. So this is a important building, and there's another important building that we'll talk about in a little bit. Your payload's going to be moving up here, and it's going to be escorted by the usual escorts, Reinhardt, Mercy, whatever attacking unit they have behind them, probably McCree. Alright, there's a large health pack over here, and this is basically Genji's playground, right here in the back. So, you can grab the giant health pack over here, and you can start positioning yourself behind this courthouse area. So, once again, if you guys didn't see that, you could grapple up here, but if you are a walking unit, you could walk all the way up these stairs. It's going to take you a little bit of time, but it could also lead you to the same location where you can start picking on the defending team. If you're an attacker and you secure this building, you can start attacking the attacking team up here as well. Now, another thing to note if you are attacking is you get access to this top balcony area, which overlooks this section that you're probably a little more familiar with. But up here is another prime sniping location for defenders. Overlooks that particular roof, overlooks this choke point, and every other choke point. Very popular, very common, so people will be looking at this spot if you are choosing this snipe as a defender. Definitely a little bit harder than attack sniping where you got multiple options. Alright, so that's something to keep in mind. Might even want to like move back here a little bit so you get a little more cover from once they start moving around this corner. Alright, so this top building over here, I just showed you how to get through. As an attacker, if you took control of this building earlier, you can start sniping from up here as well, covering the left exit. If you prefer, you cover the right exit, but if you do that, leave a little mine here. So if it's just destroyed, you could just jump down. This is why I break rails, because if I am in a shit situation, I could just do this without jumping, and I would be in relative safety. Alright, so from a defender's perspective, you want to definitely take control of this house. You want to use this bridge to your advantage because that's an easy exit spot. And you want to keep them choked up here. It's a pretty decent choke point, and they could be held up here in a while. And defenders generally have a advantage if their snipers / Genji on the attackers are not on point. So, your luck defenders, you guys actually have the advantage here. So how can we alleviate that advantage from the defenders having the high ground over here and possibly back there as well? Well, there is besides the middle path and the right path, there is a left path for attackers too, which involves this building over here. which is another building you want to take control. I have seen torpedo turrets here, I've seen bastion turrets here, and it's generally a good spot because it overlooks all 3 entrances of this area. So if you are a dirty bastion player, this is not a bad spot for you, but you're a dirty bastion player, so keep that. Alright, so small health pack here and a giant health pack here. So quick review. Giant health pack beyond that building. Small health pack here. Small health pack in the corner of this building. And a giant health pack here. As well as the small health pack that you have from the alleyway. So that was your quick health pack review. So as a flanker, you want to take control of this building. McCree, Reaper, Tracer, whatever. You want to start taking control of this building because it has access to these 2 health packs that can help you push up your agenda. Alright? So it also lets you take care of this area where the defenders would come in, and it would also let you set up. If a Reaper was up here, by the way, this is a good Death Blossom jumping point, as a heads up. Alright, so as a flanker, take control of this location, and if your flankers, Genji, Widowmaker, whatever, take control of that building and this building, your payload is probably going to start moving this direction. And this would probably be the next major choke point / hurdle that you're going to have to get through. So how do we get through this hurdle? Well, once again, take control of this building and start taking things out. Widow is very strong here, Genji is very strong here as well for the counter Widow play. So, that's an option. Take control of this building. That other building that we took control of earlier as an attacker, there is actually a lesser known entrance to their base over here. So, from over here... Oh, by the way, something worth noting is if you're a defender, this is an excellent Metro teleporter location. If you're able to secure this building, Metro teleporter here is boss. So, lesser known attacker location is you could go over here and go in through this vault and have access to their back line. So if you're a flanker, remember this location. It's gonna get you a lot of plays because not a lot of people expect anyone walk through this particular hull. Alright, and once you get past this hull, there's a giant health pack over here. There's also another health pack over there, small health pack. And there's one more giant health pack all the way in the back over there, which we went over the first part. Alright, so you're taking control of this building, you're stopping the defenders from coming out. Your snipers / attackers is taking control over here, making sure the defenders are not stopping you at the payload. And your payload finally lands here. That was a bit of a struggle, a bit of a hassle getting there. And it leads to the largest hassle as an attacker, which is the final choke point on Dorado. So let's go over defender strategies really fast. As discussed, you want to defend this building like your life depends on it because it opens the flanking route for McCree. If a McCree gets up here, it's high noon, baby, right over here. And that's probably a 5-kill high noon from an attacker McCree. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so you definitely want to defend this top back section here. You can have a Widow up here to like guard that middle section. But generally you want to be a little further up on that bridge, guard that as well. You want to keep them as far away from these buildings as possible. But in terms of the streets phase, it could go either way depending on how coordinated the teams are. The better your flankers, the higher chance of succeeding. The better your sniper, once again, the better chance of succeeding in the streets phase of this section. Alright, so from a defensive option, you want to be up here. This is pretty great. You want to keep them in this choke point alleyway as long as possible. And hopefully they won't get past this, as it is pretty far for the payload to move up this section, but it's totally possible. Alright, so your payload is finally here, and you're an attacker and you want to finally win the last checkpoint. Let's go over health pack locations really fast, and then we'll go over some attacking strategy. So you have your small health pack over there in that corner, and you have a giant health pack underneath here. Alright, so from a flanker perspective, you can start walking out here. And then you can start taking care of the guys that are covering the door. They could have a Widowmaker up here if they are playing more passively. and people generally do take a slight gander at this location, so you want to be extra sneaky if you're walking up here. Another giant health pack over here. That's worth noting. So 2 giant health packs over here. If you're a flanker, you're in a pretty good place. Now, there's a bottom section over here. This is the defender spawning point early on. Kind of a little bit pointless to take this bottom section unless you're avoiding bombs and stuff. But it does let you loop around and it gives you a little bit of coverage. If you can move around pretty fast, you can start taking out people here as well. But you're generally out in the open because there's 3, 4 possible places where the defenders could start attacking. So you want to hang out around here, take out the people here, and move up the payload into the section. The other way you could take out the defenders here in a slightly more popular route is you take the right path, small health pack, and a giant health pack in the other corner. And you can start working your magic over here. This is a pretty important place for the defenders to defend, as it leads to 2 elevational spots, this giant health pack, and another health pack in the middle that everybody seems to take. Over here. Alright, so it's very important to guard that room to make sure that you don't get flanked by literally everything. So if the defender takes control of this room in this alleyway, they have a pretty good shot at defending all the way to the end. So very important to defend this particular area. This is the choke point for that area, so I definitely have someone guard here. You also definitely want to put pressure on the people coming out from here. So generally the line for this choke point is something like this. This is the first choke point in the last section. Alright, so from an attacker, how do you get around that choke point? We always want to take it from the attacker's perspective because it's harder to organize a successful attack in a public game. So, alright, so you get past this section, you have someone that could sneak up behind him, like a Reaper or something. Reaper, Genji, Tracer. Once again, Genji's very popular here because he's very strong. To take this upper path. And they take you right behind the final section for the payload. Worth noting is the giant health pack that you passed by before. And there is a lesser known small health pack here as well. So keep that in mind, but be careful, this is where they spawn as an attacker. So, okay, take with this information how you will, but you can start taking them from behind over here if you're able to get up here without noticing. Alright, another thing worth noting is there another health pack over there. And that's the final health pack location in this final area. The big one, small one, small one, another small one, another big one, and those are your final health pack locations for this final point. I think Pharah is really strong here. I don't particularly love Widow on this last section because there's just too many ways for the flankers to get to you, but Pharah, in my opinion, is super strong here. And if you're attacking, you definitely want the Lucio, but that goes for every single attacking map. I mean, technically, you could Widow from over here. Could Widow from over here. But you risk someone getting through this section and flanking you. And there's relatively little places you can go. But if you're an attacking Widow, you could theoretically start peeking from here, assuming this area is covered by your flankers / attackers. And that's a generally safe place to start taking people down and pushing your agenda forward. Oh, small health pack down here as well. So small health pack down there and small health pack up here. Alright. I'm generally terrible at taking this objective, but I feel Pharah is really strong. Junkrat's very strong due to the confined spaces, and Mei is actually decent on attack, because you can close that door and stop them from jumping on a payload in this final section, because this is generally the longer way and no one really takes that. You Mei up this wall, you have a pretty good chance of finally pushing that payload over. Alright, so I mean it is a bit of a struggle for the attacker due to the walking distance for the attackers, and the defenders having an easy time. But if you can wipe them, this final area could be yours. So from a defender's perspective, you definitely want to watch this choke point, and you don't really want to take the fight back here. If the fight is taken back here, you probably already lost. But from a defender, you want to defend that particular corner from attackers, because that's where they're ultimately going to get stuck from your massive amounts of fire that you're going to lay upon them. What's good for defending here? Torf to a degree could take care of this section. Bastion to a degree could take care of this section. Your own Pharah is also really good here. Soldier is excellent here because you are fighting in a small area. And McCree is also decent here, unless they use the Farah I recommended earlier. And that about covers Dorado. Let's do a quick health pack coverage one more time before I end the video. So there's a giant health pack there, giant health pack there, giant health pack back over there, small health pack over there, small health pack over here, small health pack up there, and one more small health pack back there. So I believe mid to short range units have the advantage here, plus Farah. So Farah Soldier is probably key to winning this back section. So hopefully you enjoyed my walkthrough of the map Dorado, and that you learned something. Please leave any comments, concerns, complaints in the comments section. Like the Twitch channel if you like what you're seeing to see me do this live. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.